doesn't work with this type of chemistry, then what good really is it?
If you can't plug it into your existing farm operation, it's going to be challenging at best. So.
Yeah, and
flexibility. Frank likes flexibility.
Yeah.
You are now watching Farming with Duffy Ag. Welcome back to the channel. So, Mike, UPS driver, dropped off the rest of the parts for the planter. So we're gonna dive in to getting that ready. But before that, we're gonna do something a little different today. So, I've talked about source for corn. So we are actually applying that and we're gonna see some results. And then I got soybeans, which is kind of odd because I don't grow soybeans, but Frank does. So we're gonna go see Frank. But first off, I'd like to introduce you to Aimee from Sound Agriculture. She's here as far as the product source and has actually been the one to hook me up. And tell us about yourself.
So I am also based in Massachusetts, which I think is really cool that we've got two folks in agriculture in Massachusetts. And yeah, we're super excited to be trialing the product with you guys, helping you guys out in season, but I don't know what else to say.
What's your area?
What's my area?
I guess
Where do I work?
What's your role for the company?
What do I, my role? Oh, okay. So I'm the regional sales manager for, I'd say, the Northeast. I go as far north as Maine and as far south as North Carolina.
Okay.
So
good area then.
Big area, yeah.
So, and pretty much what we're gonna do today, Frank is actually running out some crops. I think he's got soybeans in. I know he's got oats in. He's actually a little ahead of us this year, but we're not that far behind. We're gonna get this planter ready the next day and we're gonna start rolling. But we'll jump over and actually see Frank and see what he's up to. Drop off the soybeans because I'm never gonna grow soybeans. That's not my plan, but he is, and I figured it would be some cool side by side. And we might get him some corn product because he's a crop farmer and we're silage farmers as far as that side of it. So alrighty, let's get into it today. Figured we would stop and check out cover crop. So Triticale, yeah, looks pretty good. So the plan here, we're gonna pull it off, take it off, put manure on, and then as far as the guidelines of all our manure ground is to reduce nitrogen and apply source, and we will still have the yields that we want. And we put it in 22 ton. It calculated out 7.5 bushel or something like that. I'd have to look back. I'll look back and I'll say that again. But, so we will probably not top dress any urea on, especially the price of it just to begin with, but we will apply source on through the sprayer at that point to give it a kick and get the crop actually going. Our non-manure ground will get fertilizer, and the source will actually increase the plant, and it says to maintain it. So there's a whole algorithm and calculator that actually is available to put your crop profile in and get the results to see what you want to do with it. But I figured we'd stop here because yeah, we're going to take this off in the next 4 to 5 days and then dive right into it. And I figure we're going to do some test plots right here as far as what I want to do. So as far as how it works out and what we choose to back off and then maintain the usage, you want to go over a little of that?
Yeah, so we'll look at your units of N to your bushel goal. And so if you're running a little heavy, basically if you're over a 1-to-1, then we'll have you back off 25 pounds of your nitrogen, add source in, and then we'll protect that yield.
Okay.
So that's what we're talking about in this field right here, is that you're running a little heavy, so back off on that synthetic input, throw source in the tank, and you'll get the same yield at the end of the day. And so you've got a positive ROI because you're going to reduce the cost of your fertilizer.
Yep.
On fields where you're pretty lean, you're a 1-to-1 or a little bit less than that, we say leave everything as usual, throw us in the tank. That's where you're going to get the 5 to 10 bushel lift.
The increase on that side of it. And as far as putting on regular urea, that can leach out and that can volatilize, but the product source, that's there. Once
Yep.
it's sprayed, it's there. It's a guarantee that it's going to be on that plant and in that soil.
Yep. Translocates through the leaf, we get down into the root exudates. From there, we activate the native microbes. They get going to work, fixing atmospheric nitrogen, breaking up that phosphorus that's plant available, which is huge in this area. We're talking about
because a lot of manure,
chicken litter. Yep, we want to make that. So we'll increase the microbial activity that's underneath the ground there to get them to produce the enzymes to break up that phosphorus, make it plant available by 20 to 40 pounds. So plants are getting the nutrients. It's that shot of nutrients that the plants need in season. And so when you're going through the field, you're at V4, you're spraying your post, you're gonna put source in the tank, spray us, and our half-life is about 3 weeks on the product. So it's not like, to your point, like it's not gonna stay year over year, you're not gonna get runoff or anything like that. It's working with what you got, so.
There we go. I think the best thing was, somebody said it's basically caffeine for the plant at that time, to give it a jump start, to allow it to keep pushing through and absorbing and working with what it has in the ground.
Yep.
So, and that's the key. If you guys don't know, fertilizer prices are ridiculous. So, and corn, the profit off corn and everything else right now, commodity prices are huge. So a field like this, we're trying to do the best with it, what we can, and actually make some money and stay farming is probably the goal. So we'll go see what Frank is up to. I think we're gonna go see his father first, and then we'll jump down and see Frank. Just stopped in, saw Frank's father, Junior. They got their spray rig right there. Just kidding. They're just doing some veggie stuff with that. Scotty's Pete with a Cummins KTA in it. But we're gonna jump down and see Frank. We went over it, so they're in full throttle. They got beans in the ground. The farm stand's busy. It's all go here. Well, we all know that tractor because we dynoed them, but we're looking for Frank, and I figured we'd stop here and check. This is all bean ground. I don't think anything's up yet, so they rolled it after. But they asked, oh, there's a bean coming up right there. There's another bean. So they are coming up. There's a few on the surface, but that's a bean. There's a bean. Yeah. So Frank's beans are up, which is good because we're putting this product on the actual beans. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of beans that are up. Red tractors, IH loader. We're out here with Frank, so getting the rundown, talk about life. He's out here planting beans. Actually, I think he's working on the planter, but things are turning fast, drying out. The winds we had were crazy, so new to them this year field. Gonna run some source in it and see how it works out, do some side by side. Plus I did tell him I got some extra corn stuff that he's gonna run on corn ground. So we're gonna have silage corn, grain corn, and soybeans. Yeah, should be some good good stuff to show. We got some goods for Frank. Brought you some product. You're gonna give it a try.
I'm gonna try it.
We're gonna see over the year what really goes on. Frank's not gonna hold back.
Nope.
He's not afraid of hurting feelings.
No holds bar.
Being compatible in the tank is a big deal, right? Like
Right.
That's one of the things with us. Like you can mix this with your post, you can mix this with your fungicide, insecticide, like because we're chemistry. So
And the other thing too is that any of the progressive guys, like we haven't sprayed the same mix on soybeans in 5 or 6 years. It's every year we're gonna take this out, but we're gonna put this in or just change it up completely. And then I don't know, if you have something that's mixable with everything, it's a pretty marketable product. It's a good idea. You can't expect guys, oh well, you can use it with these 2 herbicides,
Right.
then I want to try this next year or change my chemistry, and oh well, it doesn't work with this type of chemistry. And then what good really is it?
if you can't plug it into your existing farm operation, it's going to be challenging at best. So.
Yeah, and
Flexibility. Frank likes flexibility.
Yeah.
Flexible Frank.
Yeah, right. I don't know if that's applicable, but and kind of essentially replace it with this in a sense of like we're going to use this with less fertilizer to get the same results.
Potentially. Right now with the soybean product, it's really on making that phosphorus plant available that's bound up. On the corn side, absolutely. We were in the field earlier. So guys that are really heavy on synthetic inputs, maybe too heavy, can back off 25 pounds, throw source in the tank, spray, and then we'll get the same yield results as if you had put everything on. So with the soybean product, like I said, it's more the play around phosphorus availability and making the 20 to 40 pounds available to the plant, which is huge. So
yeah, definitely. All right,
great.
We'll give it a go.
Well,
Nice to meet you too.
we're gonna get out of here and let Frank go back to farming because it is springtime. We're all busy and I got to get back to farming. But big things gonna happen this year on multiple different places, and I'm excited to share it, excited for this opportunity. So if you haven't done so, slide on over, check out Sound Agriculture. Product is Source. So I think stuff like this is a big game changer because they're not making more ground and we got to feed more crops to keep feeding the world. So the key is always more with less.
Frank the tank.
We're out of here. Yeah, might as well.
My hair doesn't look good.
Alrighty, we're driving along and I'm like, so what's the difference between a biological and what Source is? And because I know some of you are gonna ask. So what is the difference?
So a biological is a live organism, right? It's we call it bug in a jug.
Yeah.
Source is a shelf-stable chemistry, shelf-stable up to 2 years. Typically with biologicals, you got to put them in furrow, right?
Okay.
Temperamental, you got to keep them out of sunlight. You got to give them some love. Right?
So pretty much when you're planting, it goes in the seed bed or right there with it, and then yeah. So no heat, no sitting in the container on the planter for a day if you have a breakdown or anything like that.
You gotta watch your compatibility, right?
Because bugs,
it's a live
bugs die.
Right.
Okay.
So with Source, we're foliar applied in season. Big difference, right? And because we're chemistry, we can mix with post, your fungicide, your insecticide, and depending on your fertility program, you can move us up or down, right? Do you want to put us in with your post, or do you want to wait till tassel? And that's something you talk to your agronomist, talk to us about it. And then because we're foliar applied, we're not adding anything into the soil, right? So again, biologicals, you're taking bugs, putting in the soil. What we're doing is we're translocating down through the roots to wake up the bugs that are already in your soil. All those microbes, think about a handful of topsoils that big motorcycles and billions of microbes, and all the action is right around the root zone. So when our chemistry Source hits the plant, goes down to the root, sends that signal out, all your native microbes start to get to work, become more active. So another question we get all the time is, well, can I combine both? Can I take biologicals and put them in with Source, and maybe I want to do a foliar feed, maybe I want to do molasses. Now you're talking about your secret sauce. So, again, we stay.
That's possible. They can work side by side and everything else, but there is a difference between the two of them.
There is a difference.
And as Frank said earlier, flexibility. So with the Source product, you have different times that you can put it on, and you can put it on when you're putting other things on. You can put it on with just water. So, makes sense. I'm sure there's going to be more questions. So if you got questions, drop them in the comments, and we'll start answering them on that. So I probably won't I'll answer them, but I'm not going to be the one giving you a factual answer on it. So we got some help this year with it. We'll let you get back to work. Stop wasting all our time bouncing around hanging out with Frank, but big things happening this year, so I appreciate you coming out and explaining to you guys a lot more. So like I said, any questions, drop it, we'll go over it. But this year is going to be full of all sorts of goodness and different things and different trials, and we're going to see some good results. So appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one. Today was a good day. So we got to go see Frank. We got to talk about the product that I think is going to be a big game changer. Got some inside info on what's going on, how to utilize it, little meet and greet. But I figured I'd share it with you guys because I got this chance because of you guys to demo a product like that. But we got some fertilizer I got to spread, and I got to dive into it. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna dive into that, and I'll see you guys on the next video. I appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, go over, check out Sound Agriculture. Product is sourced, but Instagram, Facebook, check their site out. Yeah, give them a follow because we're gonna do a lot of in-field stuff this year, and I'm learning as I go on some of the agronomy side, which is a big part that I'm lacking, I think. I wish I had taken more agronomy stuff in college, but in the Northeast we just don't have what the Midwest guys have as far as the resources, the education, the drive, the knowledge. So it is what it is, but we're gonna learn, and I hope you guys appreciated some of that, and I hope you guys are learning with me. So alrighty, I'm gonna stop rambling, get into the rest of my day, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.